Yo 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 yo.
Good morning, Angela Yee.
Good morning, DJ MB.
Charlamagne the God.
Peace to the planet. It's Tuesday. Good morning.
Good morning
to you. The birds are chirping.
I almost didn't make it in there. I ain't even gonna lie.
What happened?
Last night, shout to the brothers from the EYL podcast.
Earn Your Leisure
podcast.
Rashad and Troy.
I was with them last night as they do Market Mondays. They talk about everything that's going on with the stock market. They talk about everything that's going on with financial literacy and generational wealth. So Caesar and I were on their show last night. Had close to 11,000 people. They do a live chat, and we were just talking all night, just helping people out with investing in real estate and investing in stocks. So that was amazing. So shout to those brothers, man. I love what those brothers are doing.
And make sure
Troy Millings, Rashad Bilal, the Master Investor. I mean, they have a good program. So we were on there last night.
And make sure you listen to the Earn Your Leisure podcast on the Black Effect iHeartRadio podcast network. Mm-hmm. Available everywhere you listen to podcasts. But why you ain't make it in though?
So I'm gonna tell you, so that was late. So that ended like 10 o'clock. You know when I get home, so it was about a 30-minute drive. You know I gotta watch The Bachelor.
I don't know that. I don't even care.
You know it's Mondays. I gotta watch The Bachelor.
I don't even care.
The first black
Bachelor.
I thought
you about to tell me
you gotta
something
watch
good.
The Bachelor. No, what you thought it was?
You thought you was having sex?
You think
something?
Some kinkiness?
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear
I
about
see your
no
nose up in
Bachelor.
there. You smelling? No. It was about The Bachelor. We were watching The Bachelor last night, and oh my God, it's getting great. Now this is hometowns. Don't do that. This is
I heard
hometowns.
last night was great sweatpants night on The Bachelor.
No, he didn't have on gray sweatpants. But it's hometown, right? So let me tell you about hometown. Hometown is where it's down to like 4 girls, 4 women, and he has to go to their hometown and he meets their parents. But because of COVID, he couldn't go to their hometown, so they came to him, so he got to meet their parents. So could you imagine, you got a daughter, she's dating this guy for a couple of months, and she's talking about marriage, and you got to meet this guy for the first time? Very interesting, very entertaining.
I'm going to cough on him. In a pandemic.
You'll call for them on a pandemic. But it's pretty good. It is great. It is really, really good. I'm excited. I love that show.
Yo, you remember when Denzel was sitting at the table with Hoyt in Training Day, and he told Hoyt to tell him a story? And then Hoyt told him that lame-ass story, so he told him reach in his pockets and pay for the meal, pay for his breakfast. That's how I feel this morning, okay?
Well, you don't
thought you about to tell me something nice.
Well,
some goddamn Bachelor.
You don't watch The Bachelor. All right, well, how was everybody else's night?
I had a good night last night.
Yeah.
What about you, Yee? Anything fun? Was it? Could you top Envy?
Bet you can't top
no,
The
but
Bachelor.
you can.
Whoa. He's not a top. Come on now, yeah.
Clearly.
Yesterday, I've been dealing with my house that I bought in Brooklyn, so I was dealing with that. But I've been distracted yesterday all day, just dealing with this break-in that happened at the juice bar. I've been talking to like all these different police officers. So I think they apprehended the person. So now I feel much better. But when I tell you so many different people calling me, different precincts in Queens and Brooklyn, and then I've been sending this video because we have video footage of the person, but they recovered our Uber Eats tablet.
Right.
The person was breaking into another location in Queens and had it on him.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the video of the person, did they say who the person was or what his condition was?
Not yet.
Because he seemed like he needed some help.
Because he's breaking into multiple businesses, yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, just the way he looked, the way he was walking, like he didn't look healthy. That's what I'm saying. He looked like he needed some type of help.
Well, so that's why he broke into the juice bar. Exactly.
Yeah.
But
I was reading about what's been happening in New York. They said because so many businesses are closed, a lot of people are also going into those empty businesses and going through the wall and breaking into open businesses that are next door too. That's another thing that's been happening.
Yes.
Okay.
That and these brothers out here is high tech now. I don't know if you know, but if they're trying to rob you or they're trying to get you, what they're doing now is they put this little device on your car so they can see when you're
been doing that. That's years old. What are you talking about?
Did you know that, Thomas?
I did not know that.
Yes, we had a conversation here about checking out cars in the parking lot.
Well, remember they did that to Safari, but I didn't know if people really knew that. But they're still doing that a lot. That's how they know if you're home. They can see on the tracking device that you're not home, and that's how they know to break into your house.
Hey, man, if you can figure all that out, you can get a job.
That's what I'm saying.
Any you people out there that can figure all that out, man, just go get a goddamn job or start an app or something. You can figure something else out if you can do all that.
Jeez.
Let's start the show.
All right, front page news, what we talking about?
Well, let's talk about legalize it. You guys live in New Jersey, so there's some big news for you there.
All right, we'll get into all that when we come back in some front page news. Where we starting, Yee?
Well, Joe Biden has announced some changes in the loan program that's aimed at supposedly helping small and minority-owned businesses. And this looks like something good because we talked about this Paycheck Protection Program ever since COVID started. It's supposed to help with federal assistance for these businesses, but unfortunately, many of those businesses did not get the money. Now, these changes are supposed to facilitate loans for contractors, for self-employed people, for non-citizens who are lawful U.S. residents, and business owners with previous non-fraud convictions. So they also said there will be a 14-day window starting March 9th for businesses with fewer than 20 employees to apply for relief. Here's what he said.
On Wednesday, the Small Business Administration is going to establish a 14-day exclusive PPP loan application period for businesses and nonprofits with fewer than 20 employees. Small Business Administration will also remove barriers that have stopped many businesses from being able to apply for these loans. We're making it so that a student loan default or a
did try to do it and didn't get that money. And so this is supposed to help specifically minority, woman, and veteran-owned businesses and people in rural areas. And it's true. We saw a lot of these huge companies, got in front of the line, got all this money, and then what happened to the smaller businesses that were suffering?
And see, that's the problem, because a lot of times when they use that minority language, it goes to white women. You know what I mean? It goes to the poor whites. They usually end up getting that relief first.
You said minority, white women.
When they say minority, yeah, it goes to white women.
Well, that's like minority and women-owned businesses because they say minorities and then they also say women.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And those women will be white most of the time.
They said at least 400,000 small businesses have closed permanently. And so that has been an awful situation. You can see it, I'm sure, no matter where you live. You see a lot of businesses that have shut down.
Yeah, even when they say the thing about socially and economically disadvantaged individuals, that usually means poor whites.
All right, well, that is your front page news.
All right, get it off your chest. 800-585-1051. If you need to vent, hit us up right now. Hello, who's this?
This is JB from the Bronx.
What's up, bro? Get it off your chest.
Yo, I was talking about Ryan yesterday. He is a good YouTube kid, but his dad is really annoying.
I'm trying to tell y'all. I be trying to tell y'all, man. Ryan daddy.
I never seen it.
I can't do everything with him. I can't do everything like he do. I got other things to do. I got to cook. My daughter want me to dance like Ryan's dad. I can't do that.
Well, Ryan making all the money, so his dad is living off his child, which is fine. But I just don't. He's just annoying.
Speaking of money, I'm actually grateful too. I got a promotion at my job. I'm thankful. I hope everybody have a good day and a blessed day.
Congratulations, bro.
That's dope. Congratulations.
Thank you, y'all. Thank you.
Hello, who's this?
It's Morgan from Canton.
Hey, Morgan, get it off your chest.
Canton, Ohio. I'm sorry, Canton, Ohio.
It's all good. Get it off your chest.
I just need men to come men and women, to come a little harder for their women. They shouldn't be waiting till Valentine's Day to receive flowers. I mean,
boy.
Every other month or just anything. I don't feel like men really appreciate their women. Another thing, Charlamagne, I love you. I have really bad anxiety issues, and I feel like it's kind of steering towards depression. So I was wondering if you have any suggestions, because I feel like I shut everyone out. I don't have any more friends because I just close everybody out. So I don't know.
Are you going to therapy?
I have really bad social anxiety, so it's like I'm not able to explain, because when I start to explain, then my words get twisted up, and it's just
I know. You know what might be good for you then? What might be good for you is teletherapy. So you might be better off talking to somebody over the phone. So would you like to get some free therapy? I'll give you some free therapy. You want free therapy?
Yes, please.
I'm gonna get you 6 months free therapy, courtesy of Talkspace, courtesy of RCA Records, courtesy of an artist named Toby. Okay?
Hold on, okay?
Okay, wait, one more thing. Can I shout out my Instagram?
Yes.
It's _Morgs1.
Okay.
And I do want to shout out Mo. Thank you for being here for me. I know I'm just have my ups and downs and stuff like that, but thank you. I love you. That's it.
All right, thank you. Hold on.
Yeah, get rid of therapy. And I'm going to send her a copy of Dr. Rita Walker's The Unapologetic Guide to Black Mental Health. It's such a great read. I swear by that book.
Get it off your chest. 800-585-1051. If you need to vent, hit us up now. Who's this?
It's Jack from High Chick Society. Good morning, Breakfast Club.
Hey.
Good morning. Get it off your chest, mama.
Okay, so one, I wanted to say, y'all need to stop letting y'all kids play on Call of Duty, okay? They're emotionally unintelligent, and they don't know how to lose, and they cuss too damn much. Yesterday I'm playing with somebody, and he kept saying, hit him with that Mac 30 Lux. That Mac 30, what the hell is a Mac 30 Lux? Stop letting y'all kids play online with real people. You need to play with the robots like the rest of the kids. They're bad.
What are you doing?
Well, that's the way they socially interact with each other nowadays.
No. See, the online is for adults. You put your kids on the bot because I can't be called an MF by some kid who don't know how to lose.
I feel you, but you on? I don't even know what a Mac 30 is either. That must be a new gun. What my gun stopped at about.
You know that's your nephew because you know you the only one up there that be acting like he a gangster. It's too damn bald to get in my drawers. Don't do it.
What?
What? All right.
Did she say something about getting in her drawers?
I heard something about getting her drawers.
I heard too damn bald.
Keep your drawers up.
I'm a married.
Keep your kids off the line.
My kids don't play Call of Duty, and I'm married. I wouldn't
Hello,
never
who's
want to get in
this?
their drawers.
Yeah, Moon from Philly.
What's up, Moon? Pull your pants up.
Yeah, you said that, yo, Charlamagne, not today, dog. I got some exclusive information, so I was calling because y'all was just talking about the PPP program.
Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm.
So the way that you get it, you have to file as a sole proprietor, right? So the way that you do that is you have to fill out a Schedule C form. When you fill that form out, you have the option of saying that your income was cash. Now, this is not telling y'all to go out there and scam the government.
Sounds like a scam to me.
Is this all true,
No,
though,
it's not.
when you fill out these forms?
No, because with the Schedule C form, they're not looking for perfection. They're looking to see if you deserve a loan. They're not looking for perfection on that particular document. So when you fill that form out and then you go to get the PPP loan, they're going to ask you to upload that document. So don't put nothing crazy on it or anything like that. But the reason is they won't go for your actual credit. They won't go after.
This sound illegal to me.
Definitely sound illegal.
This sound like you from Philly and you're not a dream chaser. You're a dream scammer. That's what this sound like to me.
I didn't personally get the loan because I didn't apply for it. I didn't get the loan because I started my business this year. If you started your business anywhere after February 15th, 2020.
See, now if you would have got the loan, I could have listened to you, but you ain't even get one.
You, man. You ain't get the loan,
because I have someone that teaches people how to get the loan. And the lady only asked, I don't want to put her on blast. She's on Clubhouse. I don't want to put her on blast.
But she's on Clubhouse already.
I can't. I can't.
She's
man.
on Clubhouse. That is a reliable source. Okay? What's wrong with y'all?
Get it off your chest. 800-585-1051. If you need to vent, hit us up now. We got rumors on the way, Yee?
Yes, and let's talk about Megan Thee Stallion. Somebody was just praising her song WAP, and it's not the most likely person that you would think, but it's super dope.
All right, we'll get into it next. Bobby Schmurder home yet? That is my question. Do we know?
I have no idea.
I see they all
We don't
on the
know
jet.
yet, but we know. But we know Quavo said he was picking him up.
Yeah, Quavo said he's flying there to pick him up. I want to know, is Bobby Schmurder home yet?
I think Quavo's already here. I saw Quavo giving Roddy Rebel a bunch of money.
Yeah.
On social media.
I seen that. All right, well, let's get to the rumors. Let's talk Megan Thee Stallion.
It's about time.
What's going on?
Rumor report. This is the Rumor Report.
Talk to him.
With Angela Yee on The Breakfast Club.
Well, Megan Thee Stallion and Maxine Waters had a conversation for Harper's Bazaar online, and one of the things that they talked about was the song WAP.
They told me to look at was a WAP, and I did. Don't worry. Here's what I said. Now that's audacity, and that is the ability for women to take charge of what they want to say, because I had paid attention to the young, gangster rap time when, men were in charge. They said whatever they wanted to say, but women, didn't say for a long time what they could say or wanted to say or dared to say.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very important to note that WAP is the latest evolution of women expressing their sexual desires, though. Maxine is an OG. She should know that. You can't forget about Salt and Pepper and TLC and Lil' Kim and Foxy Brown and Trina and Gangsta Boo, Missy Elliott, Kaya, Nicki Minaj. A lot of women that express their sexual desires.
Now, Megan Thee Stallion also was talking about protecting black women, and why is that so hard to do?
They feel like it's controversial, and all I'm saying is protect black women. And now people are taking it like I'm saying something crazy. So just to be supported by another black woman who, you know, sends the same message, I feel like, you know what, I am doing the right thing and I'm gonna keep doing it because Maxine Waters said I can.
That's right. That's social media saying that too, though. Social media is not real life. I promise y'all, majority of the opinions on social media hold no real weight in the real world. Because we know protect black women is the motto.
All right. Now, Questlove, after having a very successful documentary that actually was at the Sundance Film Festival, he has announced that he has his second feature film coming. And that feature film will be on Sly Stone. So that should be really exciting. And you guys, if you don't know who Sly and the Family Stone is, you know, they had that song and you always hear it on commercials, Hot Fun in the Summertime. And he's a super creative person. I think a lot of R&B and soulful artists have kind of modeled and fashioned themselves after him. I know D'Angelo used to study Sly Stone before he would perform, and just see how he actually did his work. They had great songs, Dance to the Music, Everyday People, all of that. So now he's doing a documentary on Sly Stone. So I think that'll be really dope.
Family Affair.
Mm-hmm.
That's the record everybody would know. It's a family affair. Mm-hmm. It's a family affair.
And they had that song, I Wanna Thank You for Letting Me Be Myself.
Yep. Don't forget about Loose Booty.
How'd that go?
What?
You know her Loose Booty?
How'd it go?
All right, never mind.
All right.
My daddy owned the club. Okay.
How's it going? Asking how it goes. Sing it.
No, but it's Google. You can Google.
All right. Fred the Godson has gotten a street named after him in the Bronx. So it's official. Congratulations, as his friends and family were celebrating his first posthumous birthday after releasing his latest album, Ascension. So it's a 9-song tape with no features. And now he has a street named after him. So that's pretty dope. He did pass away last year in April due to complications with COVID-19.
Dropping the clues bombs for Fred the Godson. Rest in peace.
All right. And Nelly has found a buyer for his house. You know, he has that abandoned house that was in St. Louis. He had listed it for $600,000. Mm-hmm. And just a few days later, somebody bought it. There's no plumbing. There's no flooring. There's a lot of renovations that are left to be done.
It's still a nice property.
It's a fixer-upper.
No, it's a nice property. It's a mansion out there. But, I mean, I hit Nelly because it looked like the comps were great. It looked like the properties in that area looked like they were pretty good. I hit him to see if he wanted to sell it, but he didn't hit me back.
Somebody bought it.
Well,
yeah, somebody
he bought that house back in 2002 for $2 million. He was planning to flip it, but it's just been sitting there for the past 20 years.
Yeah, it was on the market for $600,000 last week.
How much will it cost to renovate?
A lot. It's huge.
Floors, I would say about 150. 100 to 150.
What?
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
No, it's going to cost more than that. Also, if you do a mansion like that, wouldn't you want to do like top-notch renovations? There's no plumbing. There's no flooring.
Plumbing and flooring is not that expensive.
Yeah, but don't you have to buy flooring? Don't you have to buy? I'm sure you have to fix everything up, and I'm sure you have to buy everything in that house.
House wasn't in bad condition, and flooring is not that expensive. Hardwood flooring is not that expensive.
And we said $150,000.
It's been sitting there for 20 years.
He's rich.
It's been sitting there for 20 years, though. You don't think that it's going to need upgrades with everything?
Charlamagne, you need to come to one of my classes, man, where you get construction loans and you don't have to use your own money to fix these properties up.
I don't have that kind of. I can't even get that kind of loan. I can't get a loan of $150,000.
You don't have to use your own money. What you mean? You got good credit, right? Do I need to get your credit?
I have an 800 plus
all right,
credit
then you
score.
ain't got to worry about it then.
That's all I
got you.
I don't know. I
Sounds
can't
like you're about to
imagine
ruin
it.
my credit. Light-skinned niggas will ruin your credit, won't they, ladies? Ladies,
you
ever had your credit ruined by a waffle-colored Negro?
I ain't messing with you. I ain't messing with you.
Look at him.
All
Look
right.
at him. Just ready to ruin somebody's credit. Look at him.
What's wrong with you?
This guy is so crazy.
What is wrong with you?
All right. Well, I'm Angela Yee, and that is your rumor report.
You want me to ruin your credit? What's wrong with you, man?
No, I don't want you to ruin my credit. You stay over there, okay? I'm married, you married. You cut it out.
What are you doing?
This guy is so crazy.
Me? This is getting awkward. I can't do this anymore, man.
But no, all ladies know it's always a waffle-colored Negro with hazel eyes ready to ruin your credit, won't he?
No, it's not. What are you
Yes,
talking
it is.
about?
Yes, it is.
You a hater, man.
Well, for my ladies out there, do not let anybody, do not co-sign on nothing for nobody. Do not put no money down in your name on nothing for nobody. Do not let anybody have your credit, okay? Because that's a trap.
That's right.
All right, well, that is your rumor report.
You kinky, bro. You're really, really kinky. I don't know what's going on with you at your house life right now, because the way you come at me in dramas the last couple of days.
That is a lie. You're a liar. Hit the drop, Dramos. You're a liar. You've always been a liar.
Drama's like, no, I kind of agree. I kind of agree. All right, well, we got front page news next week. What are we talking about? What's wrong with you? And I didn't get yourself together.
All right, you guys good?
No,
we are going to talk about, I know they've legalized recreational marijuana in New Jersey.
That's right.
And we're going to talk more about that.
That's right.
It feels appropriate.
It does. I did have an edible late last night. I'm not gonna lie.
Something's going wrong right now. I don't know what it is. My goodness.
It clearly is not worn off. Or maybe I went to sleep and I didn't get the high, but I woke up with it. I'll be okay though.
All right. Front page news is next. Let's get into some front page news. Where we starting, Yee?
Well, it's official. New Jersey has become the latest state to permit recreational marijuana use. They approved a series of bills yesterday that regulates the sale of cannabis to anybody over the age of 21.
Good job, Governor Murphy, dropping the clues bombs for Governor Murphy. Now,
but
when are they letting the brothers and sisters out of jail who are locked up for nonviolent weed offenses? If that doesn't happen ASAP, then this is one of the most hypocritical pieces of legislation ever passed.
Yeah, it definitely needs to. And I think that's something federally that needs to take place, too.
But I actually thought that was the holdup. I thought that they were trying to figure all of that out.
That's what they said. They were trying to figure that out. And also, as far as the licenses are concerned, making sure that minorities get the licenses, since we've been affected one of the most.
Yeah.
Well, the legislation does further provide for them to reinvest cannabis revenues in designated impact zones. And it also directs the Cannabis Regulatory Commission to promote diversity and inclusion in business ownership. And it contains critical employment protections for people who engage in lawful behavior with respect to cannabis. So that was in the official news release.
And listen, once again, if they don't, let the brothers and sisters out of jail who are locked up for nonviolent weed offenses, this is absolutely one of the most hypocritical pieces of legislation ever passed. And it's got to be a bittersweet celebration, because that's just wrong. If you got people in, jail for life in New Jersey, but weed is legalized.
All right. Now, Spotify is planning to monetize podcasts now. They're launching a new audio advertising marketplace, the Spotify Audience Network, which will allow advertisers to reach listeners across Spotify's originals and exclusives, as well as podcasts via Megaphone and their creation tool Anchor. So now there's going to be ads, and that way people can make money if they have a podcast that's on the Spotify network.
They haven't been
Everybody's trying to figure it out.
They haven't been monetizing on Spotify?
I think for the creators, it'll help you as far as they're going to have a paid advertising thing. So now I guess they haven't launched it yet, but they're going to.
But no, that's what I mean. They haven't been doing paid advertisements on Spotify? I thought they've been doing that. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think you're going to have to pay for certain podcasts now. From what I'm understanding.
Okay, I get what you're saying. Yeah, I think podcast behind the paywall is whack anyway, though. I don't think that's how podcasts are supposed to be digested. It's like radio, right? It's like satellite radio is cool, but terrestrial radio will always reign supreme over satellite radio because it's free. That's why I feel like podcasts shouldn't be behind a paywall.
Yeah, but you don't pay for commercials
remember, like
on satellite radio, right?
Yeah, and they actually.
But that's the purpose. You pay a monthly subscription, so you don't have to pay for commercials. You can just hear your music straight through.
Yeah, but why pay for radio?
Because some people don't want to hear the commercials.
Terrestrial radio will always reign supreme, simply because.
Because think about it, when Howard Stern went to Sirius, the reason why he got the money that he got was because it's paid subscription.
Absolutely, I just don't think everything shouldn't be behind a paywall, and I think this kind of content should not be behind a paywall. Podcast or radio, my personal opinion.
Yeah, I mean, I think you just have to be. Have an audience that's willing to pay.
Yeah, I think so. If you got that audience, I don't see nothing wrong with it.
Mm-hmm.
You monetize it yourself. You ain't got to pay for advertisement. You keep everything to yourself. I think that's smart, actually.
All right, now let's talk about a 75. Remember that 75-year-old protester that was shoved to the ground by police in Buffalo when that happened, and he actually ended up suffering a fractured skull. This happened on June 4th. It would look awful. Martin Gugino is his name. Well, those officers in Buffalo, they did file charges against those two police officers, but a grand jury earlier this month declined charges. The case was dismissed. I don't see how.
Wow. Oh, I knew that. That was a couple weeks ago when they announced it.
When they pushed homie on the floor and he did absolutely positively
they
nothing?
announced they wasn't pressing no charges.
That's crazy.
So that tells you a lot. If a 75-year-old white man gets pushed to the ground and nothing happens to the police, what does that say for the rest of us?
We in trouble.
Yeah, they said that those officers were simply following departmental procedures and the directives of their superiors to clear Niagara Square despite working under extremely challenging circumstances. That was their rationale for why that was okay. So even though this man suffered a concussion and a fractured skull, spent nearly a month in the hospital, apparently these officers did nothing wrong. All right. Well, that is your front page news.
All right. Thank you, Miss Yee. Now, let's talk about Young Thug. Young Thug yesterday posted on the social media that he was in Vegas and he lost $800,000 in the casino.
Man, Vegas just won $800,000 from me, man. Damn.
Now, he said he wilded out. He threw drinks and everything. So we're asking 800-585-1051. Gambling. What's the most you ever lost?
800. First of all, I just want to know, I love going to the casino and gambling. I like to play blackjack.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes roulette.
So what's the most you ever lost?
Y'all got money to gamble?
Well, I think I'm very I will talk about it. I have a whole plan and a system of how I gamble when I gamble.
Charlamagne?
I don't gamble at all. I've been unemployed 7 times in my life, okay? I don't play with my money like that.
All right.
I won $2,400 one time off of $1 in the slot machine.
And I'm a Dallas Cowboy fan. What the hell would I be gambling for? Why would I ever bet on them?
Yeah, you're right. 800-585-1051. Call us up now. Good morning. Now, if you just joined us, we're talking about Young Thug. Now, Young Thug, he was on his Instagram and talking about when he was in Vegas.
Man, Vegas just won $800,000 from me, man. Damn.
Yep, he lost $800,000. So we're asking, what's the most you ever lost gambling? Me, myself, I don't gamble. I'm not a gambler. And if I do go gambling with my wife, I make it seem like it's an event. Meaning, if I was going to take my wife out for dinner and a movie, if I would have spent $400, that's all I'm gambling. If I lose that $400, it's gone. I don't go further than that. And $400, if I lose that, I'm crying. But if I win $50 to $100, I walk away. Like, I'm not a gambler. I'll never get 10,000 gambling because I don't spend that much to gamble. I just rather put it in other things. That's me personally.
No, the biggest gamble
I enjoy gambling.
Yeah, the biggest gamble I take is when I dabble in ice cream because I know I'm lactose intolerant. That's about it. Biggest risk I take.
Well, I love to gamble, and so I've learned a trick. And my trick is that when I'm gambling, if I'm up, whatever I put in, I put that money, I put those chips in my pocket. And then whatever else I have after that, I feel free to gamble with that. And if I lose it, it's fine. At least I walk away even. But I'm not dipping into my pocket to take the money that I've won back out. And the most I've ever won, I've won $6,000 playing blackjack, and I won $2,400 on the slots. That's the most I've ever won.
You're better
than
me.
I try not to lose.
I never invest that. I never bet that high. I just won't. I'm not. Nope. I'd rather use that money.
But you don't have to bet that high. That's what I'm saying. All you do is take the money that as you're winning. I put one chip in my pocket. Like say I put up $200, right? I'll put a $25 chip in my pocket once I'm up and I'm back at that. Like say I have $225, then I keep on gambling. If I lose, I'm out.
What's the
but
most
if I keep on going up, probably $400.
Ooh. All right. Well, let's go to the phone lines. Hello. Who's this?
Yeah, this your boy Sterling Stack. I'm calling from Columbia.
Sterling!
What's up, brother?
What's up, King?
What's going on, my brother?
I hope y'all know each other.
I ain't heard from you in forever, man.
Hey, we still around, man. You know, everything's good.
Yes, sir.
So what's the most you ever lost, bro?
Man, listen, first time I went to the casino, I went to Biloxi, the Grand Casino. I spent $100 and I won maybe 10 grand. So this gonna be my new occupation now. Right? So I take my girl back 2 weeks later, my cousin, I get everybody rooms. I go down there and I lose about 4 or 5 grand within a couple of hours.
That's how they get you.
I mean, this is gonna be my new occupation, but they got me,
Yeah, and that's the thing. When you win a little bit, you feel so confident, and then you start calculating in your head, I only put up 100 and I won 10 grand. Imagine if I would have put up 1,000, I would have had a...
Exactly. When I tell you it was so bad, they got me off the table when I was down, and we went to eat breakfast. I told them I had to go to the bathroom. I ran back downstairs to the blackjack table, lost every dollar in my pocket. I had to call somebody to break in my crib, move a few things around for me at a discount, and send me money just so I can get everybody home.
That is a shame. As soon as you start going to the ATM and doing all that and putting your card down at the table, it's over.
No.
It was bad, Angela. It was bad, man. It was bad. that. But but I went to Vegas 2 years ago and I hit a lick. So it's always the comeback.
All right, hold on to that. That's the problem with gambling, man. You gamble until you don't have nothing left. You're supposed to gamble till you up and then leave.
Nah,
that's hard to do.
Gambling. Hello, who's this?
Yeah, this Orlando.
Orlando, what's up, man? What's the most you ever lost, man, gambling?
Man, I lost $2,500.
That hurts.
Horses.
That hurts.
And that's the worst feeling you can ever have. That's like the walk of shame when you gotta go to the crib and look at your wife.
Oh man.
Woo.
Now, I did win some money gambling in horses when I was in college, because at the racetrack right by Hampton. I really didn't know what I was doing. The trifecta, yeah. So I won a couple times. I really didn't know what I was doing. I was trying to analyze the horse, and you see what horse was fastest in the last race and what horse the train is good. I tried to do all that, but I didn't know what I was doing.
You lost.
I won that time.
You probably saw me because I was the number one handicapper there. And me and my boy, we used to go there we stay going there.
Yeah, I used to go there with my brother Kevin.
It is what it is.
Yeah, I used to go there all the time. I didn't know what I was doing, but it was just fun to see people cheering and stuff. But you the number one handicapper there?
Number one handicapper. See, my last name is Gamble, so that's what I did. I was born and raised upstate New York. Monticello.
I'm not mad at that. I enjoy gambling. I would be in the casino. I remember the first time I ever played blackjack, I was there till like 7 a.m. You know, they don't have no windows. You don't know what time it is. Next thing you know, you're like, damn, I've been sitting at this table this long.
I ain't doing all that. But 800-585-1051, we're asking, what's the most amount of money you lost? Young Thug lost $800,000. What about you? Now, if you just joined us, we're asking, what's the most money you ever lost gambling? All right, Young Thug said he lost $800,000. That's a lot of money. But, hey, we're asking you. Hello, who's this?
Hi, this is Josh. I'm calling in about the gambling situation.
Josh, what's the most you ever lost gambling, brother?
Okay, well, it wasn't me personally. I gambled my brother's Red October Kanye shoes to a game that I had in my spirit. I knew I was going to win. It was the Miami Heat versus Spurs.
He should beat your ass, man. He should have beat your ass.
He did. I mean, well, I don't speak in terms right now. But he forgave me. Well, he didn't forgive me, but I tried to buy his daughter some Yeezys, and it didn't work out. So we still ain't talking. He loved them damn shoes.
The Red Octobers go for $7,000, and you can't get them anymore. And you gambled his $7,000 Red Octobers, and you lost?
Damn,
I'm whooping your ass.
Damn, you made it sound worse. 10 years from now, goddammit.
That ain't funny. He can't even get those again. They $7,000 out right now. They going on.
Oh my gosh.
What size is he? What size is he?
Oh, he wears size 10.
Yes, they go. Matter of fact, there's a bid right now for $16,000. He should whip your ass twice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, you messed up.
You breaking up a whole thing. My brother, I hope he not. I hope he hears.
Hang up.
Okay, I'm hanging up.
He's like, damn, I can take one ass cutting, but two? You want him to beat me up twice? And he will beat me up twice.
He deserved that ass.
Yeah.
See, that's why I'm glad I'm an only child. I can imagine my brother taking my sneakers that I waited online for that's worth $10,000, and you gamble on the Heat. Hello, who's this?
Anthony.
Anthony, what's up? We're talking about gambling problems. What's the most you ever lost gambling?
$18,200.
$18,200?
Yes, sir.
Playing what?
Playing craps. Shooting dice.
Okay, playing craps. Let me ask you this, though. What's the most you ever won?
I won, before the pandemic last year, I won $25,000. And I went out to Vegas with only $1,000. And I came
okay,
back
so you up. You still up. You stuck.
No, I'm not up. I'm done. Not that.
See, the crazy part, I don't even know how to play none of them games. I don't know how to play craps. I don't know how to play roulette. All I know is blackjack. I don't know how to play. All I know how to play poker on my phone. I don't know none of them games.
I know how to play poker too. I enjoy it. I love being in the casino, but they don't give you drinks anymore when you sit at the table. You got to just sit there now.
Well, I'll tell you this. Last week for Super Bowl, I was out there, and I was at the crab table with a Asian gentleman, and he was shooting $50,000 a shot.
He was winning.
No, I didn't say he was winning. I said he was shooting.
He just said he was playing.
That's crazy.
And he left the table with $300,000. Now he could have been down $500,000 or $1 million, but that's what he left with $300,000.
I ain't got the heart for that one. Thank you, brother.
You know what the worst is? When you're at the table with somebody who doesn't know what they're doing and they mess up the game for everybody else at the table. Oh, my
hate
God.
that so much. People like, no, it doesn't matter. Yes, it does matter.
It does matter. You got to get up and walk away. Like, I can't be at this table with this person.
All right, well, what's the moral of the story, guys?
You got to play to win.
No. Keep that money in your pocket and invest in something.
You got to be in it to win it, baby.
Stock market is doing okay now. Real estate is great right now.
That's all a gamble.
There's a zillion and one things you can do. Don't listen to Yee.
Nope.
And if you don't know how to play, don't sit at my table. And I hate when you guys come at my table smoking cigarettes.
Man, save your goddamn money, man. Somebody got time to be gambling.
Make that money.
My goodness. We got rumors on the way?
Yes, and we're going to talk about Meek Mill. He says he has apologized privately to Vanessa Bryant. But first, this happened online. We'll tell you what went down.
All right, we'll get into it next. I said your mic's on.
What? I just said these headphones are amazing.
I didn't say that. I just
these
said
new headphones. I don't know who.
I just said your mic's on, just in case.
4D headphones. It's hearing in 4D is incredible.
Huh. All right. Well, morning, everybody. It's DJ Envy, Angela Yee, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. Is Bobby Schmurder home yet? Somebody give us some updates. Good morning, Mama Schmurder.
Are you asking rhetorical questions, or are you asking questions that you may or may not really know the answer to?
No, I don't know the answer. That's what I'm asking.
Trust me, when Bobby Schmurder's home, everybody will know. It'll be on Instagram. Okay? Follow DJ Academics.
Yeah, Academics let us know.
Follow Shade Room. You'll see it. I'm sure.
All right. You there? You back here?
Yes, I'm here. It's going to be a celebration in Brooklyn when Bobby Schmurder gets home this morning. Or this afternoon, or whenever it happens.
I mean, let's be clear. Based off the laws of hip-hop, right? The laws of the street. If snitches get stitches and snitches get, banished and yada, yada, yada.
Right.
Shouldn't somebody who held it down get celebrated?
Absolutely.
And I think he will. I think a lot of artists saying they're gonna make sure they take care of him. I know Quavo said he's picking him up. I know Thugger for said he got something, got a bag for him.
Young Thug actually, he posted me when I said that before, and he said, Charlamagne finally said something right. That's what he said.
You guys came a long way.
Who?
You and Thug?
I've never met Young Thug in my life.
Well, you said he was going to torture you one time and tie you up at one time, but then
Yeah, and then didn't you guys speak and he said he wanted to come on the show?
No, I never spoke.
They never spoke.
He did.
He wanted to come on the show. Yeah, yeah. But you guys came a long way.
The torture. That was cool. That was a good time. What was that? 2016.
Yeah, 2016. Yeah, he really.
Charlamagne, we're gonna tie you up and torture you, boy.
You've heard that before, huh?
Shut up.
All right.
I don't even know how to hog tie.
My goodness.
Don't
all right.
threaten me, right?
We got rumors coming up.
Yes, and we'll be discussing a new podcast that Barack Obama is doing. It feels like an unlikely pairing.
All right, we'll get to it. Let's get to the rumors. Let's talk Meek Mill.
It's time. She's spilling it. WPRFM HD1 New York.
iHeartRadio station.
Angela Yee, Charlamagne the Guy.
All right. Well, Vanessa Bryant was on Instagram and calling out Meek Mill over the line that she had an issue with. People thought it was disrespectful to Kobe Bryant. Here's the line.
And if I ever let come going out with my chopper, it'd be another Kobe.
All right. And we had a whole discussion about this up here on the Breakfast Club. I said, I'm sure Vanessa Bryant she's been very vocal about how she feels about people even posting tributes to Kobe Bryant at this time. So it did feel insensitive because she's been vocal about it. She has her daughters, who also are seeing all this, and I'm sure they're aware and listen to Meek Mill. So she posted, "Dear Meek Mill, I find this line to be extremely insensitive and disrespectful, period. I am not familiar with your music, but I believe you can do better than this. If you are a fan, fine. There's a better way to show your admiration for my husband. This lacks respect and tact." And that's how she felt about it.
Well, nothing to say if Vanessa is offended. If Vanessa is offended, the only thing you could do is apologize if you're Meek Mill, right?
Right. So then I don't know if this was just bad timing, but he posted on Twitter, "I'm going back savage in this ish. F your feelings. I don't think we are on the same signal, y'all. I don't see what y'all see. I be looking at the net laughing like I did what? I say random ish all day on social. It becomes a trend to hate on me every once in a while, but I feed off that ish. I'm a beast, literally. I'm going to stay on this 100M chase to feed the kids. I'm a dip from the crowd and stay in the VIP." And then he said, "I apologized to her in private earlier today, not to the public. Nothing I say on my page directed to an internet viral moment or the family of a grieving woman. If you care about someone grieving, change the subject."
Now, that's a long-ass tweet, first of all.
Was that a few different tweets.
Oh, okay,
no, it was a few different ones.
Well, let's go back to what you said initially. So after Vanessa tweeted that, he tweeted out, "I'm going back savage mode. F your feelings."
Yeah, but we don't know if that was necessarily towards
Hit Homer
that.
Simpson. Hit Homer Simpson. John Most. Come on.
We don't know if that was necessarily
hit Homer Simpson. Hit Homer.
towards that.
Come on, Meek. Come on. I refuse to believe Meek is that clueless.
He might not have seen that at the time. He might have been still going at 6'9".
I gotta shoot Meek some bell. Meek's emotional IQ gotta be way higher than that. I refuse to believe he saw what Vanessa Bryant said.
No way.
And then tweeted that. I don't believe that.
Can't even be a possibility.
You know how some comics got great comedic timing? Mm-hmm. Meek is the opposite of that. Meek just pops in at the wrong time, and we end up laughing at him instead of,
Yeah, that was towards 6'9" and some other street stuff. There was no way.
I refuse.
Yeah, no way.
I refuse.
Not me.
But I do feel in this particular situation, Vanessa Bryant's been very vocal, even saying, please don't post anything from the accident, even not wanting anybody from the NBA to do tributes this year, just because she said it just hurts too much. So I kind of feel like mentioning his name, we should know that's going to not be good either.
Yeah, we knew it wasn't going to come. We knew it was going to hurt her feelings, I'm sure. But, so many rappers have done things like that before, and they play wordplay, and it sounds dope because they think it's wordplay, but then they don't realize who they affect and who they hurt.
I think we're also forgetting one important thing.
What's that?
The song wasn't supposed to come out, and Meek did record the song, and I have it on very reliable sources that he was told don't put the record out. The record wasn't supposed to come out. It was leaked. So let's be clear on that too as well.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I would have probably just said that then. And I also feel like, publicly people heard this and it made the rounds. So why not just say, I want to apologize. The song wasn't supposed to come out.
Well,
I thought he did say it was leaked.
I just think that's just a simple
he did say that.
I thought he did say it was
leaked.
I think he did say it was leaked.
All right, now Barack Obama is doing a podcast with Bruce Springsteen. That's a Spotify exclusive original podcast. That feels like a weird pairing to me, but it's called Renegades Born in the USA. It's an 8-episode podcast. And here is the trailer.
On the surface, Bruce and I don't have a lot in common. He's a white guy from a small town in Jersey. I'm a black guy of mixed race, born in Hawaii. He's a rock and roll icon. I'm not as cool. In our own ways, Bruce and I have been on parallel journeys, looking for a way to connect our own individual searches for meaning, truth, and community with the larger story of America. And over the course of a few days, all just a few miles from where he grew up, we talked.
That doesn't excite me. I'm just
not so. Not so. Sorry, guys. Not so. It's not so.
I thought it was just me. It's just not exciting.
Just simply not so.
Not for me.
The Boston Barack, that's not so. I'm sorry, guys.
Not for
Maybe
me.
I'm hating. It's not so.
They'll be talking about their hometowns, their role models, modern manhood, and the divided state of America today, how we can all move forward together. Now, they did have a stream-on event yesterday, so other news from that, they announced a multi-year deal with the creators of Avengers Infinity War and Avengers Endgame. So they'll be doing that. They also launched a podcast from Ava DuVernay focused on social change and cases of police brutality. A few different things that they announced on that. Also, like we said earlier, they're also testing the ability for podcasters to earn revenue through paid subscriptions for fan-only content on the platform.
Now that Marvel stuff you mentioned, and I know you said Ava's doing like a documentary, stuff like that I'll pay for. I'll pay for like scripted audio content. You know what I mean? Stuff that's like movies and TV shows, things of that nature. But just regular podcasts, no.
They also did a Warner Brothers DC deal for original podcast that'll include stories about characters like Superman, Lois Lane, Wonder Woman, Joker, Catwoman, the Riddler, Batgirl, Harley Quinn.
I would never pay. DC's trash. I'm a Marvel guy, but I would pay for Marvel.
What is DC?
Everybody that you just named. Oh. I might pay for Joker and Harley Quinn. I like Joker and Harley Quinn.
All right. Lionel Richie has a new bag. Well, not new. He's been dating this girl since 2014, but they were trending yesterday. And the reason why, his girlfriend, Lisa Parigi, like I said, they've been dating, for 7 years now. She's 30 years old and he is 71 years old. So people were reacting to their nearly.
When he was 65, somewhere around there?
Yeah.
Yeah, there you have it.
Ain't no all night long when you 70 something years old and your girlfriend 30. Ain't no all night long. Jesus Christ.
You're gonna need some Blue Chew, some gas station pills, Viagra,
prayer,
Levitra, whatever that thing's called, prayer. Sheesh.
Right. Right, Cat Daddy. A lot of women like Lionel Richie, though.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, a lot of women love Lionel Richie.
I didn't know. I mean, I don't know.
They call him Cat Daddy.
They do?
So I guess he understands.
I had no idea. I didn't know.
So I guess he understands because his daughter was, 19 dating a 35-year-old? So I guess it makes sense. He understands. He's cool with it.
70 and 30 is crazy. It ain't even crazy for him, though. It's just like, I'm looking at her like, why you want this 70-year-old man?
Why you hating?
I don't know, man.
Wow.
Why
can't?
I know, like, I'm not going to be 70 one day. Who knows what's going to happen in life?
They be dancing on the ceiling.
Yeah, that's right. Drop on the clues bomb for Lionel Richie.
There you go. Y'all know his knees is going to be hurt. They ain't going to be dancing on the ceiling.
First of all, he ain't got no business on his knees. It should be all back action for Lionel Richie. Okay?
All
Lionel
right,
should be laying on his back the whole time. Be on some women's empowerment. You take control. You know what I'm saying? That's what you do.
That is your rumor report.
Wow. All right, Lionel Richie.
I ain't mad at him, though.
All right. Who's your old ass giving a donkey to?
Eric Spencer. Eric Spencer needs to come to the front of the congregation. I'd like to have a word with him. I did take an edible last night, but it was only because I couldn't sleep, but I think I took it way too late.
What time did you take it?
Man, for me, it was late. It was like 9:30.
That's too late.
Yeah, that was too late.
That's too late. That's why you've been a little giddy all morning long.
Because I fell asleep.
Touchy feeling. I don't know what's wrong with you this morning. But
I ain't touch you.
No, you touched your almost. But
that's a lie.
Donkey of the Day's up next.
If a person feels that I could easily see why people would think it's okay to show the things that they do. Okay, but guys and gals, newsflash. The FBI uses social media for investigations. Okay, they absolutely use social media posts to help identify and track down stuff that I could easily see why people would think it's okay to show the things that they do. Okay, but guys and gals, newsflash. The FBI uses social media for investigations. Okay, they absolutely use social media posts to help identify and track down suspects. Yes, you can't be online with a bunch of drugs. You can't be online waving guns and threatening people. Trust me, the FBI, Facebook, and Instagram are just sitting around plotting on your dumb ass. And that's what happened with Eric Spencer. Do y'all remember weeks ago when you saw a bunch of brothers robbing a Soho Channel store? What's it called?
Chanel,
Yeah, there you go. Soho
Channel.
Yeah, but remember when they did that in broad daylight?
Yes.
Now, if you're like me and you see the word Chanel and it translates to channel, then you act in your wage. See, I don't go chasing Chanel. I stick to the Puma sweatsuits and Goodfella t-shirts from Target that I'm used to. So when I saw this crime, not only did I think it was just ridiculous that they were doing this in broad daylight, I said to myself, who they selling this stuff to? At a time like this, during this pandemic, you gonna steal channel bags and then take them around people who don't have any disposable income to buy them? I don't get it. But it's not for me to understand because I'm not a criminal. But Eric Spencer was indeed one of those guys in that channel store. What's it called?
Chanel!
Yeah. Well, Uncle Charlotte, how did he get caught? I wonder. Let's go to ABC 7 New York for the report, please.
Bring the leader of a brazen robbery at the Chanel store in Soho in Manhattan earlier this month has been arrested in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Prosecutors say 29-year-old Eric Spencer of Brooklyn, one of four men who burst into the store while it was open on February 2nd, grabbed nearly $190,000 worth of goods. Spencer allegedly brandished a gun during the heist. Prosecutors say the next day he bragged on social media that he could open a small boutique with what was stolen. Three other suspects still on the loose.
$190,000 worth of channel products.
Chanel.
You couldn't help yourself, huh, Eric? You know, it's interesting. Even if there is no code in the streets anymore and nobody is teaching these kids how to move, what happened to learning from movies? You can watch American Gangster once and realize why Frank Lucas shouldn't have wore that floor-length chinchilla coat, that fur coat, and that fur hat, okay? It cost him his whole operation. Kids, if you don't have OGs around, you know, who are telling you not to bring that kind of attention to yourself, then listen to the movies. Denzel Washington, American Gangster, listen. Basically, what both those fictional gangsters are saying is attention is the worst drug known to man, and social media is your drug of choice. Now, let's update all of that for this era. What Eric Spencer did, I started to say the equivalent of wearing the fur coat front row to the fight. You know, I started to say it's the equivalent of buying something after hitting a big illegal lick. But in fact, it's worse because cops can only assume you was doing something you had no business doing when you looked the part, when you looked rich. But when you actually on social media with the items you stole from the channel store and you online saying, and I quote, so many double C items that he could open a small boutique. Now, what does that mean, Rich Negro Envy? What does double C mean?
That's the logo, Chanel logo. It's CC.
2 C's. I thought that's when you get ass shots.
Cece?
Never mind. Listen, man. As much as I hate to see black men getting locked up, it's like y'all really be earning your charges. Okay, in life, you get what you deserve, and you get it because you deserve it. And the fact that Eric has 32 prior arrests, including 15 felonies, I don't think he will be seeing freedom anytime soon. And it's his fault. Okay? I don't even know what to tell you youngins anymore. Because you don't know the difference between right and wrong. You don't know the difference between good and evil. You don't know the difference between crime or no crime. I would say this is a teachable moment, but y'all ain't gonna learn. Niggas gonna nig. Please give Eric Spencer the biggest hee-haw.
And it's Coco Chanel, just the CC.
I'm gonna tell you what happened.
I didn't hear the end of it. Can we play Guess What Race It Is?
You know good and well what race it is. Okay? All right? Listen, I'm gonna tell you something, though. The reason this dude got caught is because Envy didn't do 12 Days of Christmas this year. If Envy would have did 12 Days of Christmas this year with Gia, he'd have bought all them channel bags.
And they should now.
He'd have bought all them hot channel bags. Okay. All right.
But I don't buy stolen property.
Anymore, right?
Not anymore. I don't buy stolen property anymore.
Okay, I'm glad you said the anymore.
No, it's serious.
Why not, though?
Bad karma.
True.
Bad karma.
True.
I feel like if I buy something stolen, then you open up the gates for somebody to come and rob me.
That's a good point.
So I don't buy anything stolen.
But if it's stolen from a store, now if it's stolen from a person, that's different. But if it's stolen from a store,
brand new tags on it.
Yeah, that's a little different.
What's the difference?
Well, whose karma is it?
The store's still losing.
I don't own a store. If I don't own a store, I don't have to worry about that kind of karma.
Babe, if you're listening, he got a point. Babe, if you're listening, he got a point. Because if it don't come from a person and it come from a store, store got insurance.
That's what I'm saying. They gonna be all right.
And that bag probably only costs $200 to make, and they sell it for $5,000.
Now listen,
babe, if you listen, he got a point.
I'm not encouraging stealing at all. We're just having a hypothetical hood conversation about if you buy stolen goods. Okay, if you buy stolen goods, if you buy them from somebody that stole from an actual person, I think that's bad karma. If they stole from a store, I don't own a store. Yeah.
As long as
you get nervous thinking about that sale.
Because it sounded good now. It sounded good now. How many other people ran up in that channel store, as Charlamagne would say, was 3 other people?
You want to go to the channel store right now. You want that herpes discount. What's it called?
Not herpes, it's herpes, man.
Yeah, there you go.
Nah, we don't buy no stolen products, man. Not
right. And despite the pandemic, by the way, I was reading about how Hermes bags are still, those Birkin bags are still flying.
Yes.
During this time.
Who would know to call that Hermes? I see that and I see Herms.
It's Hermes. Just the name of it. All right. Well, thank you for that donkey today. Up next, we have Malcolm X's daughter joining us. Mm-hmm. Her name is, I know I'm going to pronounce this name so wrong.
Ilyasa
Shabazz. We'll be talking to her next. She has a new book out. So we're going to talk to her when we come back. So don't. Special guest on the line this morning.
Yes, indeed.
Ilyasa Shabazz. Welcome.
Thank you. It's so great to be here. I know I saw Charlamagne not that long ago, and Angela and DJ Envy. I look at you guys and listen to you guys pretty often.
Well, thank you.
Well, good morning. How are you today?
Pretty good. How about you?
Blessed, black, and highly favored. Every time I see you glowing. Like, just glowing. It's aura on 1,000.
Okay. Well, maybe that's living right.
Yeah.
There you go.
Absolutely.
Well, we obviously are here today to talk about your young adult novel, The Awakening of Malcolm X. And there's been a lot of new developments also, just, as of late. I saw this letter that was released from Ray Wood, the FBI agent that went undercover that actually framed and was responsible for Malcolm X working in conjunction to get him assassinated. So what were your thoughts when you saw that?
Well, Angela, I can say that I'm just as curious as you are uncovering the truth. We always wanted to know what the truth was surrounding my father's assassination. We know that he posed great danger. And so it's, we're just as curious as you are to uncovering the truth.
Absolutely. I love...
It must still be difficult to hear all these things coming up, too, because that's your dad. For a lot of us, he's a hero and he's such a great figure to us. But for you, that's your father. So I know it's not easy to have to hear these things coming back up over and over again.
Well, I think whatever you do in the dark always comes to light. And, immediately I think of my mother. And I think, of this woman who had her home firebombed on the evening of Valentine's Day, as she lay asleep with her husband, that a bomb would be thrown into the nursery where her babies, where my sisters and I slept. And then that a week later, she would witness the horrific assassination of her husband. And in spite of all of those challenges, she raised her 6 daughters with just so much love in a very small bubble, and made sure that we understood who our father was, who her husband was, so that we didn't grow up feeling that our father left us, but we knew that he loved us and would be proud of any kinds of accomplishments we were making. And if we didn't do something right, she would say, your father would be disappointed. So, I always take my hat off to this woman. She continually gave, and she instilled the values that just as one must drink water, one must give back. And, so for my mother, a young woman in her 20s, to experience that, for me, that is probably the most difficult part. And so, yes, we are very curious and definitely want to uncover the truth.
And I was reading that you were saying that your mom didn't really speak much about the things that he did, and you had to get a lot of that knowledge from his autobiography. Is that true?
My mother focused on instilling love and making sure our identity was intact, so that when we would leave her, under her wing, that we would be able to navigate through society's injustices. And so we didn't learn about the icon Malcolm X because then you had to introduce hate. And if my mother was, a witness to the brutality, the surveillance, all of the challenges that her husband and she endured, certainly she wanted to protect her babies and of course, even to witness his assassination. There's a picture of my mother. She was a registered nurse at the time, with my father with all these bullet holes in his chest, and she's undoing his tie, to help. I could only imagine how traumatic that had to have been. So my mother focused on love, kindness, joy, all the things that my father wanted for any oppressed people to have, the opportunity to know that they're worthy of love, self-love, and, respect for our humanity.
Queen Ilyasah, on the anniversary of his death, how do you feel? How do you mourn?
Well, it's not really easy, but I continue in the tradition of what my mother always did, and my mother always had, we always had a memorial celebration. It was a celebration of life for our father, and it was at Abyssinian Baptist Church for a very long time. And then, now we have it at the Shabbat Center. So, we continue in that tradition. And fortunately, because of this pandemic and virtual programming, we had people from all around the world. And so that's, a great opportunity to fellowship in that way.
I love the idea of a young adult novel, The Awakening of Malcolm X, which is spotlighting Malcolm's formative adolescent years in prison, because I think it's very important to really dive into that whole process of who Malcolm was, because I often say this generation wouldn't let Malcolm Little become Malcolm X because of this whole cancel culture thing. So what can this generation learn from your father's adolescent years in prison?
Well, first of all, that, I wanted to make sure that my father's story was accurate, that his father was the chapter president of the Marcus Garvey movement, the Universal Negro Improvement Association in the 1920s, which commanded millions of followers worldwide, that his mother was the recording secretary for this organization, and that his family was targeted, and that his father was lynched by the Black Legion, which was a splintered group from the KKK, and that his mother was put into an institution. His father purchased land that was reserved for whites only during the height of Jim Crow. And once they lynched his father and put his mother away and separated Malcolm and his siblings, they took the land. And so Malcolm, as a youth, was running from his identity, running from the pains that he experienced during Jim Crow. And when he finally was arrested, his family had the opportunity to encourage him to read again. And one of the things we discover is that Malcolm was always bright, smart. All of these values that we see in Malcolm was mostly because of the foundation that his parents and family provided. And so it speaks to the importance of us smart, forward-thinking adults to be the village for our children when we know they're in pain, when we know that their identity is, questionable. And so while in jail, my father continued to read. He studied the dictionary, not so he can learn how to write. He studied the dictionary because he was a star debater on the debating team of the prison that debated against Ivy League schools. And he studied so he could understand the etymology, the root of words, because he always wanted to be prepared. And, there are so many interesting things about the awakening of Malcolm X. I had the opportunity to work with Tiffany D. Jackson, who is a phenomenal young adult novelist. And, we wanted to focus on the humanity of inmates. We know there are approximately 3 million people in our nation's prisons today, but do we know that the United States spent 81 billion taxpayer dollars on correction facilities, not education, not after-school programs, but on correction facilities. And that since 1970, the incarcerated population has increased by 700%. And this is what's happening to our children. And so each of us has to ask ourselves, are we going to be a part of the problem by doing nothing and pretending that we don't understand these things? Or are we going to be a part of the solution by rolling up our sleeves and demanding change?
All right, we have more with Ilyasah Shabazz. When we come back, it's the Breakfast talking with Malcolm X's daughter, Ilyasah Shabazz. Charlamagne?
Even though the book is historical fiction, do you see parallels to today's current events?
Absolutely. And that was really the purpose of this book because, the same systemic issues are here, the same, nothing has changed and it's not going to change until we do something. We have to learn to control our own narrative, and we can't sit back and just think that someone's going to do something for us. My father said only a fool would sit back and allow his enemy to teach his children. If we want change, we have to be willing to do the work ourselves. And I think that now there is a multiracial movement that's driving our nation towards a more civilized space because of our young people, that a synthetic identity is being born, our society is moving forward, and bigotry and all its ugly hate is losing, and a new era has yet to define itself. And so we have to, surmise that cheaters lose, character wins, moral character wins, and that should be a lesson for our young people.
What would you advise people to say? Because we talk about change, but, Donald Trump's in office, Joe Biden is in office. Do we see him helping us? And we say we have to do for ourselves. So what would you consider us to do for ourselves?
We have to get our collective leaders together. There's not just one leader, but coming together, organizing, strategizing. We see all these dynamic young people. I watch Angela Rye and Brittany Packnett and many of the Congressional Black Caucus members. I think that it's important for us to come together in this collective leadership and organize amongst ourselves to figure out what our strategies are. And that's, a lot of what my father did. In the 1950s, when young people were marching, protesting, demonstrating, my father came along and said, look, we demand our human rights as your brother. We demand our human rights ordained by God. He was willing to do the work. And look, we all organized to do so. And so it's important for us to first make sure that we understand, these all of these different divisive tactics, that have continually happened, and ensure that they don't happen again. That if there are 8,600,000,000 people in the world and 80% of us are people of color, we should be able to come together and figure out how we can get this boot off our necks.
That's right. What does by any means necessary mean to you? Because I think a lot of times when people hear that phrase, they automatically think wake up with violence on the mind. What does that mean to you?
by any means necessary means that, again, if we're talking about collective leadership, then we have to know that we are worthy of self-love, that we are worthy of a quality education, that we are worthy to participate in mainstream society. And so it means that we have to invest in ourselves, just as my father did. My father read everything that you could imagine, and he refused to allow anyone to pigeonhole him. And so I would say the same thing for us, that we have to be diligent with the same kinds of, same kinds of examples.
I got a couple more questions before we go, but, you mentioned a couple of our strongest voices earlier. You mentioned Brittany Packett and Angela Rye. I wonder why it feels like the sisters are on the front lines and more vocal than the brothers. I would throw Tamika Mallory in there as well. Like, why do you think that is right now?
Well, I think this has been something, this has been historical, the Black woman. We look at, just like you said, the women that you mentioned, or even Stacey Abrams, who delivered, almost 1 million votes to help us win, have this Democratic victory. Just think who would be in office right now. But I think it's important to understand that Black power is not exclusionary. It simply says that we are going to be at this table. And that is something that we can't forget. My father said that a society is measured by the progress of its women. When you teach a young man, you teach a community, but when you teach a woman, you raise a nation. And I think that we have seen such evidence of that.
Absolutely. I do want to talk to you about chapter 4 too, though, because you use one of his quotes with a common goal of 22 million African Americans is respect as human beings. And we can never get civil rights in America until our human rights are first restored. When you read that quote, how you think he would view that goal in 2021? Because I always say that now, like, we fighting for civil liberties, but they don't even respect us as humans.
Well, that's right. And that is one of the reasons why he was assassinated. He internationalized first the struggle for Black people worldwide, because remember, in the 1950s, we didn't even know that we were, of the African diaspora. We didn't know that Blacks in the Philippines, Blacks in Australia, Blacks in China, Blacks in the Americas, Blacks on the continent. We didn't even know we were all experiencing the same oppression. So he internationalized that struggle for us. So we understood that we came from Africa, we have a land base, and then introducing a human rights agenda to the civil rights movement so that we could take, be strategic about this and take this, to the Supreme, to the United Nations Supreme Court and challenge those for violating our human rights. Yes, I think that is extremely important. And when we look at the Constitution, when we look at all of these documents that were created, we'll see that we weren't included as human beings, that we were just property, and so we have to correct history. And again, that is addressing our education curriculum, and yeah.
Well, The Awakening of Malcolm X, a novel, is out right now by Ilyasha Shabazz. Mm-hmm.
Yes, amazing read, though. I really did enjoy reading that. I was like, I think for a lot of kids in school, or even like somebody my age, it was a great read. So, and
listen, every time I hear myself on the radio or doing some kind of interview, I sound like I'm just being so passionate. And in retrospect, I always say that I want to, tone it down, but it's difficult to tone it down when we look at these, horrific conditions that we are forced to live. And I just hope that all of our young people, remain strong, remain focused, that you don't look at these or don't fall for these divisive tactics, because at the end of the day, they are just that. They're divisive, and they prevent us from accomplishing our goals. And it is extremely important, with all of those great people that we have, all those shoulders that we stand upon, that we are able, to win.
That's right.
Well, thank you for joining us so much, man. And we appreciate you and everything that you're doing. And pick up her book right now. And thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Let's get to the rumors. What? Somebody's home.
Listen up. This just in. All the gossip. The Rumor Report. Gossip. With Angela Yee.
It's the Rumor Report.
The Breakfast Club.
What are you doing, Envy? Bobby Schmurder is officially out of jail. I know there were a lot of false alarms for months, and people were saying he was about to get out, and we were like, okay, let's wait till he's really home, but he is officially out of jail. So congratulations to Bobby Schmurder. Everybody's excited. We've seen the footage of them in the private jet going, and then we saw him on FaceTime, so now he's out of jail.
Happy for that brother, and I hope he gets rewarded for him doing what they say people should do in that situation. He didn't snitch.
Nope.
Right? He did his time like a G. So I want to see how hip hop street culture rewards him for that.
I wonder if he's still signed to Epic Records, or did they release him when he got locked up? Because I'm sure when he gets home, he's going to have a big bag. Some label's going to be offering him a lot of money to do a deal. And I hope he gets all that money.
100%.
All right. Well, welcome home, Bobby Schmurder. Now, let's talk about this high school football player. He was talking trash to Cam Newton. That video went viral.
You're a free agent, Rick. You're a free agent. I'm Rick. You're about to be pulled. I'm Rick. You're about to be pulled. I'm Rick. You're about to be pulled. I'm Rick. You're a free agent. Rick, I'm a free agent. I'm Rick. He's still a free agent. Where your daddy is? Let me talk to your dad. Let me talk to your dad.
I don't know what you mean that way. It wasn't funny. It was hilarious.
Not funny. That's not funny.
It was hilarious.
That's not funny.
Okay.
You at that man's camp, man. That man put on a camp to teach you young men how to play football and to better yourselves. And you talking about, you about to be broke.
I felt sorry for Cam because I was that child. Okay, that inner child still exists within me. I don't care how much money you got. I don't care who you are. You gonna get these bars. Okay, and Cam hit him with the wrong comeback. That I'm rich bit, that don't work on a human who's securing himself at all.
He went the right route. Where's your daddy at? Now
but what if I ain't got no daddy? You trying to play me? You know what I'm saying?
Well,
that's why young boy turned up on
player did
apologize.
You
know I ain't got no damn daddy.
Where your uncle? I don't know.
Seth Owens apologized. He said, first and foremost, I want to express my deepest apologies to Cam Newton, my entire organization, my coaches for my actions at the tournament this past weekend. I did not intend for it to get as far as it did. First, I would like to start off by saying my parents never taught me to be disrespectful to people. As a football player, I let my competitive side get the best of me, and it was a huge miscommunication. So he said that he realizes a lot of people took it as disrespect. I never meant to humiliate and let anyone down. And he said he's very appreciative for even being allowed to be a part of that community.
What Cam should have said to him was, look, young king, you here at my camp because you want to be in the positions that I've been in. Yes, I'm a free agent now, but don't forget, I forgot more than you've ever learned. Okay, I'm a Heisman Trophy winner. I got a national championship. I was the #1 pick. I won an MVP in the NFL, and I went to a Super Bowl. On top of all that, I'm rich. You're here because you want to accomplish a quarter of what I have.
But you're about to be unsigned now. That
don't take away nothing I've done.
You ain't got no team now.
That don't take away nothing I've done.
Why are y'all pretending to argue like that?
And you're here because you want to accomplish a quarter of what I have. And guess what? You will if you shut the F up and listen.
But watch the videotape. You see how nice I get.
Oh, and here's an update. Yes, Bobby Schmurder is still signed to Epic. They are, yes. So Sylvia,
Epic
Tracy,
hit you that
they're
fast?
all there. Mm-hmm.
Wow, Epic's listening. Good morning, Epic. Good morning, Bobby.
Good morning, Tracy. Good morning, Sylvia. Good morning, Bobby Schmurder.
Well, we'll shout out Epic once we see how much bag they give Bobby Schmurder.
What's the bag they give on his way home?
Bobby tell us it's okay, and he got the bag,
then we shout him out.
Epic.
Okay.
You know I love you though, Tracy.
At least they didn't drop him that whole time, right? That happens, and I'm sure they were supportive.
Yeah, you hold on to it. It's like stock. You hold on to it.
Gotta bounce back sometime.
That's all.
But welcome home, Bobby Schmurder.
All right. Well, that is your rumor report.
All right.